Alright, it's time for the first discussion of the day before we actually get playing today, which is all of the people who keep coming to the YouTube videos or the streams and trying to make these ridiculous claims about PvP in this game. This game is not a PvP game, nor has it ever been a PvP game. It has always been a PvE game with optional PvP that is completely separate and has its own thing going on. You do not have to PvP. PvP is not on by default. You don't have to participate in any PvP. Did I make that clear? There is no forced PvP. You don't have to do PvP. It's an optional thing. This is a PvE game of exploration, single player ARPG, action RPG set within an MMO framework. Now it has always had, similar to Diablo. It has always had a PvP element. So let's take a look at what do I mean by that. Well, this whole map that you explore, doing quest lines, 100% PvE stuff that you do on your way of leveling up as you would through any other MMO or action RPG that you've ever played. You follow the quest lines, you level up, it's all PvE. Harvesting, crafting, adventuring, you can group up with other players, you can do dungeons. Matter of fact, up here in the menu, there's an activities page. Do you see here where it says PvE? And it has 6 activities listed outside of the normal adventuring sphere that we've done, and only 2 PvP things? What are the PvP things? What are those? 3v3 arena and outpost rush. 2 specific modes of gameplay that you have to willingly turn on and participate in if you want to do PvP. Otherwise, the entire gameplay loop is built up on you going out there and adventuring and following a quest line with your chosen archetype and weapon sets as you would in any other game. And then, if you want to, look at all these PvE activities that you can participate in. Expeditions. Well, let's check out expeditions. What are expeditions? Expeditions are dungeons that you can do with other players. How many are there? There's 12. Starting at level 25 and going up to level 65. 0 PvP. That's all PvE. PvE content. Dungeons, just like you've done in World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, Lord of the Rings Online, EverQuest 2, Star Wars: The Old Republic. PvE dungeons. Hang on, there's more. Just wait. Mutated expeditions. Also, PvE content that you do with other players. Wait, there's more. There's the new raid that just got added. 10-man raid, I believe. Really cool gear from that. Soul Trials, which you can do on your own. More PvE content. Hang on, we're not done. We're not done. Season Trials, which is a minimum of 6 players. Local groups only. So there's more stuff that you can do that's PvE. And there's Elite Trials, which you can do with other people. More group content. Minimum of 12 players, by the way, for those. All of this is PvE content. None of this is PvP. This over here, optional. Optional 20 versus 20 outpost rush mode. Or 3 versus 3 arena mode. So, anyone who tells you that this game is a PvP game is incorrect. This is not a PvP title. This is a PvE title that has some PvP content in it. Now, there used to be a heavy focus on PvP in the beta phase, and then they slowly evolved it into something else. And there are still some very salty players who are like, but this game used to be hardcore forced PvP, full loot. Rah! That's because it's a rant, Dreamwilder. We have to sound peeved because we have to make fun of the Reddit trolls and all the people leaving stupid comments on the videos who are like, this game, it's PvP. How? Because here's what I'm hearing a lot of, everybody. You know how this game uses like if you've ever played an action RPG. Hang on, we're gonna go outside here really quick. If you've ever played an action RPG, if I can find a way out of town. If you've ever played an action RPG in your life, and there are hundreds of them out there, I've played hundreds of them over time. action RPGs have some form of target locking system, meaning I can come out here, I can find a mob, like here's a turkey. I think that's a turkey. Look, and now I'm target locked on that turkey. That is not aim assist, everybody. Nor is that aim botting, as some people would say. This is a target lock. I mean, some people might consider it an aim assist, but it's a target lock. It goes away if it's too far away. That is not unique to this game. It is a action RPG staple. Target locking on the target so that you can switch between targets. Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, God of War. I could go on and list a whole bunch of other action RPGs if I really needed to. So I've seen some really peeved people in the comments who are like, this game is a PvP game and you've ruined the PvP with the target locking. First and foremost, it's not a PvP game. It's a PvE game with optional PvP. And second of all, target locking has been a staple of action RPGs forever. And ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. But it makes it easier for the other players to kill me. Again, not a PvP game, a PvE game with PvP options. Now, I don't play enough PvP to be able to say, hey guys, this absolutely has to happen. Because here's the thing, it's not a PvP-centric game. If it was a PvP-centric game like, say, Ashes of Creation is promoting itself to be, then it might make a little more sense to have that argument that this is some sort of game that should be governed by PvP principles. But it's not. It's an action RPG. And it's always been a PvE game, even since the launch. So, rant over. Wanted to make sure that we get that out of the way first thing at the beginning of the stream today. Because it is really amusing to see the amount of upset PvP trolls who are up in arms about the Aeternum launch and how it's ruined the game and this is a PvP game and they shouldn't allow you to do this, that, the other. There shouldn't be any of these things. I want my full loot. I want my full body loot. No. So, it's awesome. Bubblini is correct. It changed because full loot PvP is incredibly niche compared to PvE games. It's just numbers and realities. I'll get to chat here in a minute, guys. Exactly, Dreamworld. It's a tiny little rant first thing in the morning with just the right amount of sarcastic peeve tone. That's how we get going in the mornings, guys. That's how we get our energy. We're 4 cups of coffee deep. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. We're at the beginning of the stream. We got the most peak energy. We got to get it out. Got to set those trolls straight. Get them on the path to enlightenment. So, if you want to play this game, folks, go for it. It is a PvE action RPG. There are other players running around. We can see them running around. You can choose whether or not you interact with them. You don't have to interact with them if you don't want to. I'm not. Watch my streams. I'm playing this as a single-player game. Now, if I want to go do expeditions or raids, yeah, we'll do some matchmaking. We'll go group up with some other people. PvP, couldn't care less. It's not what I do. It's not why I'm here. It was never marketed as a PvP game for the Aeternum. Bum, ba-da-bum, bum.